Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode of the Ninja Warrior podcast. Tonight, we are going to be covering the season 14 finale of American Ninja Warrior.
Or should we call it American Nurfed Warrior? Come on, we were all thinking it.
Yeah! Okay, so I guess that's the first thing we should start off with. The title of this video, what likely is the title. Crystal sent me that in an email. I think she should probably tell that story, just like,
Yeah, as common, probably a running theme throughout this video, all three courses that we'll cover, stages 2, 3, and 4, felt really nerfed compared to last season. So when I was just watching this, I was just like, you know, they should really just call this American Nerfed Warrior. And it kind of just stuck. So I emailed David that, and he's just like, you know what, I'm titling the video that. I'm sorry, you have permission to do that, so I'm doing that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't in the conversation until we got together for the recording, like just a couple of minutes ago, but I can't wait just to see the community's response to that. Yeah, this was definitely an episode. Today we are going to be covering Stage 2, Stage 3, and Stage 4, so we are doing it all in one. It's going to be probably a longer episode, but obviously, you know, these videos are usually quite long, and plus we have a lot to cover. A lot of ones. Honestly, what do you guys think of this? I guess we'll go in order. So what do you guys think of this, second part of episode 11?
It was a little long for my taste. I really wish they really split it up a lot better. If they really had a limit of 12 episodes, then couldn't they had at least cut it down a lot better? Because, like, AW13, they did a way better job of segmenting it, even though I didn't think they did a good job there.
Yeah, we at least had an hour of stage 1 there. Here, you know, we definitely could have had that, but they just said no for some reason. They do a lot of stage 2 and stuff, so I think too much, but, you know, it's still cool, it's still fine, it's alright. But the real me is obviously stage 2, that's what we're covering today, so we're gonna start off with the obstacles, starting with the returning striding steps.
Yeah, honestly, this is a really good obstacle. I'm glad this returned.
Yeah, I believe it only took out one person. Yeah, it only took out one person, but still, this obstacle is still really difficult, and I really do think it should stay because, like, it fits stage 2 to me.
Yeah, then we have the double samurai, but the incarnation of last season where the top is cut off. I don't think this even took out anyone.
Yeah, no, I don't personally think it's a hard obstacle, but they think it is. I don't know. After that, we have the first new obstacle to stage up being a piston plunge from qualifying. This seems kind of easy. Like, easier than the version in qualifying.
Yeah, it seems weird that this is the obstacle that took out the most people, but it is.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be, one of the later obstacles, but, yeah, piston plunge. Honestly, it doesn't feel all that hard, but I guess it's fine. I guess it was difficult enough to take out, a lot of people, but, yeah. After that, we have the returning hammer drop from last season, which honestly is still a really good obstacle.
Yeah, again, it still just it flips the swing surfer on its upside down, and I think it's really good for that. I really like it. So it's good that thing's still there.
Yeah, and it definitely provides some really good moments on stage 2 with some pretty good saves, especially with the shorter competitors. Then we got the Hornet's Nest, aka a Wingnut Alley. Yeah, I also really hate the name Hornet's Nest. I kind of just thought of calling it Honeycomb Havoc from Mario Party. Like,
I feel like no one in the audience is gonna get what the heck we mean, even though it was in Superstars.
Yeah, you probably should put that on screen. But basically, it's a Mario Party minigame where it's basically a Mario Party minigame where you have to catch a whole bunch of fruit, and if you catch a honeycomb, a whole bunch of bees trap you and take you out of the minigame. But the point is, it really does sound like a good the obstacle name for it. Generally, it's cool. You know, it's John mentioned it's a Wingnut Alley variant. I definitely would call it that too. I'd call it the sequel, but Honestly, it's still fine. It still has its moments. It's less. It's probably gonna be less famous than we know now, just because like it didn't take out as many people, but also not as many people got there, and also not as many people on stage two. I think like almost double were on stage two last in season 9 Will was there, and it was there for season 10 as well. So we got some knockouts there as well.
Yeah, but this is definitely something I'd love to see keep on going because it was still really cool. Like, it still felt like Wing Nut Alley, and yeah, I like it.
Yep. Then we got the falling shelves, and it's kind of unfortunate because this is where the nerfed aspect starts coming into play. This really feels nerfed from last season.
Yeah, only one person failed it out of the 11 people who reached the obstacle. Like, that's a little much.
Yeah, talking about stage 2 right here, it really does feel like, what is it, last year, when I did that Q&A video, I said that the most I was going to accept was 10, and we got 11.
Yeah, it was a little much in terms of stage 2 finishers. I don't really think we should have any more than, like, 7, like, around. Like, the record for season 7, I think it was 8. That's really, like, the most I am willing to accept going to stage 3.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that one. These high numbers for stage 3, it really doesn't feel right. Like, a round number, anywhere from, like, 3 to 8 is generally the number I'd be okay with. Generally, I don't really like the idea of having 1 or even 2 people making it to stage 2 only. But 4 to 8, that's generally a good number, but 11, that's a little much. But not 22, so whatever.
Yeah, before we move on, the time limit was 4 minutes, which I would call too much, but it seemed to work out because a couple of ninjas were actually trying to beat the clock on the falling shelves.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I do feel like that's the main reason why it's so much. It's at least not 4:30 like in season 10, but it kind of does feel like a clock this time around, just like last year. So despite the no timeouts, generally it still felt like a problem. So, yeah, I think it's okay enough. I think, general, like, the stage 2 is not a bad stage 2. It's fine. It feels like it's trying to fix last year's stage 2, which wasn't broken, by the way. I believe we said something about stage 2, like, being fixed, and I fully agree with that. That stage 2, that was fixed. This one just, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like, it's trying to fix what isn't broken, but at the same time, I don't think it really breaks it either. I think the obstacles that they added, even if I'm just talking about the Hornet's Nest, they're good obstacles.
Yeah, I actually think Piston Plunge goes better in its spot than V-Formation from last season. Because, like, V-Formation, it feels like it's just wedged in there. When Piston Plunge, it kind of just feels like an obstacle it should be there. Yeah, I think the Wave one is way better, but honestly, anything's better than the Deja Vu, or something like that. Again, it doesn't feel shoved in. I think it's okay. I think it's just about that so many people finished it, and the following shelves being feeling so easy.
Yeah, as we'll go on to the actual ones and stuff, you'll definitely see exactly what we mean, because things get really just, like, predictable, and it just feels easy. Like, if you get to the falling shelves and you know how to do a blind grab, you'll be fine.
Yeah, last year, on the falling shelves, that drop was really tough, and it took out a lot of people. This one, not so much. Again, we just mentioned more, it took out one person, so it feels like less of a tough obstacle. I really do hope they still keep it, because it's still a really good obstacle, and it really is that flair that stage 2 needs to end with. But the fact that it only take out one person compared to 10 really makes me worry that, they might remove it.
Yeah, I can see your point though. Like, if they remove it, then what are they going to replace it with? It wouldn't be better. Like, whatever they're going to replace it with probably wouldn't be better. It'd probably ruin with this version of stage 2.
Yeah, definitely, but I think we've dwelled on this a little long. Let's go into the actual ones for episode 11, starting with Owen Dyer. Okay, so Owen Dyer, he had a segment about, living in, his hometown. I don't remember what the fucking hometown.
Do we care? Do we have to look at that? Do we have to look it up?
I mean, I guess not. Who cares? The point is that he just talked about how his impact on Ninja affected him as a person and the impact he's made in his home city and stuff. Nothing really too much to say. So I guess we don't need to know.
I'll pop it on screen. How about that? But moving on. Owen Dyer, he did pretty good on the course.
Yeah, Owen Dyer, he made it all the way to the Hornet's Nest, where he almost made it, but he ended up falling off at the dismount. So definitely gave me a flashback to this wing alley. Feels as plenty of people end up going out on that dismount. But yeah, after that we had a fast forward segment featuring only Donovan Matoya, who was got revenge on the striking steps from last season, but then was taken out by another rope on hammer drop, so that was pretty humorous.
Yeah, then we had Tyree Yamauchi in his first fully shown one since season 10. I wish I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, the muscle ball deserves more spotlight, but that is legitimate. I guate that is legitimately the last time he was shown.
I looked this up last night. He hasn't been shown since the Indianapolis Finals in season 10. Every other time he's been shown was a fast forward.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, Tyler, he had a story about his Japanese culture and how he's trying to get his family into that. Really cool to see. Again, I personally don't have too much an opinion on it, but again, just giving him spotlight, that's a good thing. Yamauchi had a very interesting one where, he made it through the course quite well, but on hammer drop, he almost failed it as, he's, 5'1", I believe. So he really had to wrap his hands around that hammer, but instead, he just really squeezed on the white side, and he was still able to hang on. So that was really good.
Yeah, something like that it would be really hard for a young person, but that is what took him out last year, so I'm pretty sure he trained for it. And he was able to make it through the next obstacle as well, and make it all the way to the falling shelves.
Yep, Yamauchi ended up being the only victim of the falling shelves this season, where he just had one of his hands miss the blind grab, and he couldn't make it. But honestly, so that was just definitely a miscalculation. I think at this point, Yamauchi, he's at the point where he could probably beat stage 2.
Especially in this form, yeah. Yeah, he's always one of those people who just, I feel like he could make it if he's just given an easy enough course. Not in a bad way or anything, just like a decent enough course for him to do. And he really felt like he'd be our first finisher.
Anyway, moving on. After him, we had
Flip Rodriguez as Ann. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most hyped one we're covering this season.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that one. Flip finally had the one of his life right here. As he once again had a story about training with RJ and how he feels really good about this season, and he's definitely had the season to be confident about. And here, man, this was a gutsy one. Yeah, similar to Joe Mawassi a couple years back on stage 3. He ended up getting a whip on his skin on, I believe, the salmon ladder, but he was able to truck through, and honestly had a really gutsy and good one all the way through stage 2, and finally broke the curse, and finally hit the buzzer. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that is the best moment of this, because no moment had more build-up than that. Flip has failed the stage 2's 5th obstacle 2 times on the dismount, and has failed the final one the last time he was here in 2019. He deserved this more than any other ninja who hasn't done it yet. Seriously.
Yeah, he's done the equivalent of finishing it at this point, so him just being able to go the 9 yards, that was the way to do it, and honestly, fucking amazing and really cool to see Flip.
Yes, his performance in the next episode on stage 2 is a little bit disappointing considering how much hype this moment had, but it doesn't take away from it at all.
No, not at all, definitely not, but Flip's one here. I don't think this is definitely the high point of the season, even if we have a lot more to go. It really never felt like anything got any better than this. But Oh, this is the one that was worth it.
Yeah. Then we had a fast forward segment featuring Jackson Odas, us who really made the us who kind of made the course look, who kind of made his part of the course look easy.
Yeah, on the double sable ladder, he immediately shot up it by by skipping ones and going straight to the top of the second time. Like something like that is definitely tough to do, to actually place it right, but he did it. He ended up failing on piston plunge, which was a little disappointing, but but still a really good season for him, and he really used that redemption that he got from Milwaukee getting COVID. Like, he used that to his advantage very well.
Yeah, he definitely still deserved to be there, and same with our next ninja, James Sanella, who was an alternate for Najee Richardson, but he did as well as Jackson going out and piston plunge as well. But once again, both of these ninjas, they use their safety pass, they use their alternate position to really get themselves a second chance.
Yeah, for sure. After that, we had just like a Singleton in the same fast forward set when he was taken up by piston plunge. And similar to Levi Enright from last season, he would win in the next episode, where he would end up falling on the same obstacle just a little bit farther.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit disappointing. He was one of only 2 ones that episode, and we're not even going to cover it because they were both safety pass ones and the way we do things. Is we covered the safety pass one soon after the original. But just saying, like, it was a little disappointing to see him fail that twice.
Yeah, I thought he would at least get past that obstacle on the second time around and go out maybe a little bit later on stage 2. But moving on, the next shown one, that was another hype moment, that being RJ Woman.
Yeah, RJ has gotten a lot of spotlight this season. I don't think he's ever gotten any more spotlight. Like, because he's on all his one show, and they all deserve it. RJ has been doing really well all this season, probably because Flip's been helping him out as well. They're helping each other. And RJ did really freaking well. He made it all the way to the buzzer to become the nice next finisher. And he honestly made stage 2 look like a cakewalk.
Yeah, they pointed this out too. RJ actually kind of has a replica of Stage 2 in his gym always, what was there last season. So, he was able to go based off that. He was already prepared for the following shows, and because it was Nurfed, he was kind of over-prepared for it. But obviously, still, really awesome one.
Yeah, he had one of the faster times. I think he was second fastest, or maybe even third. I don't remember for sure. But even so, still one of the faster ones we saw.
Yeah, definitely. After that, we had a fast forward segment that featuring Grant Newgun, who I find really funny because they say like he had one of the most exciting ones on stage 2, but it wasn't exciting enough to show in full, which it really should have been.
Yeah. Grant ended up firing on hammer drop on the rope, and after that we had Lucas Riawi.
Yeah, Lucas had a big scale on a hammer drop as well, as he couldn't get his legs locked in on the initial jump, but it was able to survive, along with on the rope as well. But he ended up going out on the Hornet's nest. And after that, we have Evan Andrews, who got the next big segment. And Evan Andrews, this was a pretty good one for his rookie year.
Yeah, Evan, I'm surprised about how much coverage Evan ended up getting, even if it's only 2 ones. But Evan definitely deserved it. Considering his status. He did really well in the course. He almost lost it on a hammer drop where he couldn't get his lower body locked in addition to having it fall off while trying to climb over. That is definitely dangerous and a little bit scary in my opinion because, like, I have a height thing. Like, I'm a little bit afraid of heights. Like, I can still do ninja and stuff, but I am a little bit afraid of heights. So that right there, that just plays in my mind. I'll be honest, even a 3-wing circus from last episode, that kind of played with it too.
Yeah, I'll be honest, taking it from that high, it does look intimidating, like, honestly, and something like hammer drop, you really gotta hit that, drop really, like, good, you gotta get a really good grip on that, and on both your upper body and lower body, so obviously if you miss it, then, you're gonna have a tough time, and I feel like, more people should just peel off if they don't get the lower body load and, locked in, but of course, it's still a really cool, so probably one of the more intense obstacles we saw all in this finale here, in this episode on stage 2, because, like, despite being from last season, it really felt like the only obstacle that was, like, an obstacle. It's kind of hard to explain. It has the thrills that Stage 2 needs. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, probably a little bit more actually. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, it has more of the thrills that Stage 2 really needs to feel like Stage 2, and that's what it is right here.
Yeah, but going off. But anyway, after Evan Andrews, we had
Kyle Soderman in a fast forward segment. He had a really disappointing one being taken out by the Hornets Nest. Then we had the next kind of shown one. It was a mid one for Jay Lewis. Yeah, obviously because it was a mid one, it doesn't have too much to say here, but obviously still the fact that Jay Lachey, his result was still really good. He finished obviously. Again, really awesome to see. Jay was honestly one of those ninjas that I definitely thought could go for.
yeah, yeah, definitely. His one felt really earned, honestly, and he was freaking ecstatic all throughout it. So, really top tier.
Yeah. After him, we had Josiah Papel, and Josiah had a story about how he was all prepared in a way to take down Stage 2 this season, and how he built like a replica of the falling shelves in his gym. So, he practiced it, and obviously, he crushed that course. He destroyed it. Got one of the faster times as well. So, honestly, still really good to see.
Yeah, nothing really else to go on about. After him, we had Mike Salensi, who was in a fast forward segment. He was unfortunately taken out by Piston Plunge, and that was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, after that we had Cam Baumgartner, who almost was taken out by the Piston Plunge. However, he was able to make it through it, and he sped through the rest of the course to a buzzer. So honestly, I do feel like he should have been shown, but I guess it's okay for this case. And after that we had Ethan Swanson, who was the next big shown one.
Yeah, Ethan had a really good one. Really good one. He had this, and Ethan got a really good edit here. He ended up getting a segment about him talking about his career and how he thinks that he's considered an old dog, and he's got some old tricks up his sleeve. I wouldn't consider him an old dog. I know he's like in his 30s, I think, but that doesn't matter. He's still one of those ninjas. He's still very top. And I do think he could probably win if given the right circumstances.
Yeah, I feel like Ethan is more of those people to where, he'd probably keep on making it to Stage 2, but he has beaten it before technically, even if it was the Season 11 version, which was a cakewalk. But even so, Ethan is still one of those top ninjas, so I can definitely see him getting back to Stage 3. Was really disappointing here is obviously he did not make it back there. He had a little bit difficulty on the earlier obstacles, it's like still going very fast throughout it, but he ended up going on the Hornet's Nest, as it was a little bit difficult for him, and he ended up falling off on the final one. He just couldn't grab it. But definitely speaking, a really good one from Ethan, and it was really good to see him try Stage 2 again. When I was seeing him attack the Hornet's Nest, it really made me feel like he was, getting revenge for winning that alley.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it before. It's kind of like the sequel episode, the sequel obstacle, its successor. So yeah, I can get that one fully.
Alright, after that we had
Jeremiah Boy in a fast forward segment.
Yeah, this was one of the last fails we ended up seeing on Stage 2. He ended up going out on Piston Plunge. And after they had Max Feinberg in that same fast forward segment, where he ended up having a really good one, getting all the way to the buzzer.
Yeah, after that we had Kate Lepsek, who had a mid one, I believe, and he did pretty okay. Pretty good, honestly. I don't really have too many things to say about this one. Like, honestly, he just hit the buzzer. Like, no, he made the course look like a cakewalk.
Yeah, he's done Stage 2 before, and he's looking to have a fairly good sophomore season. He's had one so far, and obviously it's not really less surprising that he hit a buzzer, but really good for him. Yeah, after that we had Jackson Twait, who was given the next big shown one, and this was honestly pretty surprising, because, he had this really weird segment about him, wanting to spice up his one, pun entirely intended. He decided to take salsa before the one, and, to help with Stage 2 and that fire, but that didn't help things as he fell in the first obstacle, being the only victim of this year's sliding steps.
Yeah, honestly, I was not expecting that, but it also makes sense for him to be the first one, because, I don't know, not many people know this, but, production, obviously, they often change the order of the ones, but it's usually whoever gets the fastest time goes first, and then, it goes in that order. So, in real in real life, like at filming, Jackson Troy probably was the first winner because he had the slowest stage 1 time.
Yeah, so in that case, it makes a little more sense why he would fail. So why they kept him so late into the episode. But honestly, still really good. Honestly, still really good season for him. I don't really think his one was all that shocking, but again, it's a situation where he just had a really good season. After that, we had a fast forward segment featuring Matt Domingo, who ended up finishing with the fastest time of the night of being over a minute, and that was a stage 2 speed record.
Yeah, Daniel Gill had it, I believe, last season. Had it, I believe, Daniel Gill, I believe, had it, before this, and, Matt Domingo, I believe, beat it by, I think, 3 seconds, so on there.
Yeah, I believe Gill's time was, like, a minute and 1 second. I don't know. Correct me, Crystal, and you had any?
Sure, but, yeah, I know it was really close, but, yeah, he got the new speed record. That's honestly really cool. Then we had Ethan Barnicki, who had gotten a fast time, and obviously, hit the buzzer. Nothing really too special about him. Is one.
Yeah, then we had the final winner of the first part. We had the final winner of episode 11 of episode 11 of AW 14. That being Josh Levin. Now, if you weren't hyped by Flip's one, then you better have been hyped by Josh's one.
Yeah. I don't know. If you want to, like, get a life or something, I don't know. Josh's one was the most epic thing they could have saved for last.
Yes, Josh's edit this season has been really good. I've been really glad with how much spotlight he's been getting this season as a whole, and it was really cool to see. But Josh, he made it all the way through stage 2, hit a buzzer. He was one of the slower times, but honestly, still, really awesome one, and it was really good to see him.
Yeah, again. Levin, dude, congratulations. Finally getting past the course that is taking you out the most, and it's always been the end of your season. Not this time.
Nope. The final one of stage 2 ended up being Nate Hansen in part 2, as only him and Josiah Singleton's second one ended up being shown, which is really weird to see. But anyway, Nate Hansen, he ended up completing the course. Completing the course. He didn't really have too much of an interesting one, but he made it through, and I can't fault him for it. He really used that safety pass that he didn't earn to his advantage, and especially when we get to stage 3, because he had a really good one there as well.
Yeah, speaking of stage 3, by the way, I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about it.
Yeah, stage 3, let's go over it. Stage 3, this is something I definitely have opinions about. This is very similar to how it was last season. Last season we had, the same amount of obstacles this year, but we have 2 different ones this time around. The first one, that being Patriot Pass, facing, whatever that battering wham obstacle, whatever it's called.
Whip and tip.
Alright, Whip and tip. But the point is, they replaced it, and honestly, this is a way harder obstacle. Yeah, I'll be honest, this brought me back to, way back when, the bungee warp climb was on stage 3. Any of you guys remember that time?
I don't think either of us were watching Ninja at the time, but yeah, that used to be on stage 3, but it kind of is similar a little bit. It's definitely a lot harder.
Yeah, Patriot Pass is basically a bunch of tied up ropes that you had to lower and then get on them as they would drop when your weight went on them. Honestly, pretty okay for stage 3. Didn't take out anyone, but still felt like a good obstacle for it. After that, we had the returning stalactites, which, once again, it didn't take out anyone, but it's still a really hard obstacle. I don't want them to forget that. It's still a really hard obstacle and a really good one, too.
Yeah, then we had Chop It Up, which is honestly a really good replacement for what was once there last year. That being for some fucking stupid reason up for grabs.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Chop It Up was actually, looked hard. It actually looked hard. It has these little, barrel grips so you have to hug around as it drops. It looks dangerous, as, a couple of ninjas hit their chin on it. But, honestly, I don't mind it. It honestly looks difficult. It looks stage 3-like. It honestly works very well. It's way better than up to grabs, especially for stage 3. And, yeah, honestly.
Alright, after that, we have the same obstacles from last year. We have the very nerfed Ultimate Cliffhanger, which honestly doesn't feel like a cliffhanger at all at this point.
Yeah, no, I think this is the main reason why you called me you emailed me about calling an American Nerfed warrior.
It is. It kind of is because I was like this last year and in season 11, but oh my god. Okay, the reason why I'm specifically I want to call this episode that is because Matt Akbar, they just kept on saying, like, it's not supposed to be this easy, but that's because the producers made it so easy.
Yeah, stage 3 is supposed to be the be-all, end-all. Like, maybe 2 people should be able to get through it. Maybe 3. But here we have 5 finishers. Way too fucking many. And, the obstacles here, they feel really easy. Easy. Only 2 ninjas failed before the cliffhanger, and only 1 was taken out by the cliffhanger itself. Like, the cliffhanger is such a joke nowadays.
Yeah, especially when, Josh Levin, especially when, certain people will get there, obviously. But people were really just, showing off on the cliffhanger. It really felt easy. They should fix it!
Yeah, I don't feel like they will. And this is the 3rd time in a row we've had the same looking cliffhanger, so I don't think they're going to change it at this point. But I really wish we still had the version from seasons 8 and 9, because that version was hard. That version really tested your might, and it felt like an evolution of the cliffhanger we saw back in season 7. It honestly felt like that evolution, and it's honestly really weird, because, in season 7, we had 2 total victories, and in season 8, it really felt like they needed to tough up the course. Season 8 had a record number of, shocking fails, and people going out really early, and be honest here, and it felt really hard. Stage 2 was really difficult, Stage 3 was really difficult, the way they upgraded and made the course so much harder in Season 8, that's why Season 8 is, that big season. That's why everyone remembers it so well if you were watching back then. It was my first season, was it you guys' first season?
It was mine, John?
Mine was actually, Season 10, actually. Oh, yeah, right. But the point is, Season 8 is if you were watching at that time, Season 8 is the season you probably remember the most. It's because it had that big change. The course never really felt the same afterwards.
I think Season 9 still felt that way. Honestly, Season 9, it felt real. It felt like that evolution. It felt good. Season 10 just felt too hard, but, it felt like an evolution. You're saying it.
Yes, yes, it really does feel that way. Here, in Season 11, we had 2 total victories. After that, the stages, Stage 2 had the biggest evolution, and it really needed it, and they fixed it. And Stage 1, you got some evolution, I think is a really good course last year, especially with the introduction of stuff like the High Road. But Stage 3, probably the course that needed some innovation the most, it really didn't get that.
Yeah, they took out... Yeah, aside from Igosh Alley, really, nothing was really felt like a total victory just happened last year.
Yeah, no, and even ignoring Drew's thing, which they do later. Gil still made it to Stage 4 on his own, and Gil didn't even need a safety pass. He just made it all the way through, and Gil really did well. Gil. Oh, props to him, but coming into season 13, it only really kind of felt like that evolution. It never really felt like a total victory just happened. But it felt like a normal season, and it was a good season, don't get me wrong. I still have that same opinion about that finale. I still think it's really vivid in my mind because I really enjoyed watching it. I really liked it. But the problem is now, it comes down to the fact that we just had a Stage 4 person, Kane Lebsek. And now, the 4 stages, they don't feel changed at all. They ain't changed at all. And I get it, some of them weren't broken. Stage 1 was fine, even though I feel like they could have, changed obstacles like the slide surfer. Stage 2 was good, but it just felt a little bit nerfed. But it was still, it still felt like a good course. It just needed that extra, it just needed the falling shelf to be like last year's and not have such a light drop. Otherwise, then Stage 2 is practically perfect now. So going into Stage 3, you expect the most. And here, I am glad with the evolution. I am glad that I'm glad that the first two the new obstacles were added, and I'm glad they're there. They made the stage a lot harder than what it was last season. But the point is, with the amount of clues we got this year, it felt very different. It felt nerfed. It felt easy. Easy. I made when I was watching this. Once I said out loud, like, it feels like I could do this, and for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a really good climber. Like, I can do like V4s and stuff. I just actually did a climbing round earlier today. That's why I'm so pumped to do this. But I'm so pumped. I was so pumped to do this today. It was like I wanted to get it done.
I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay, I guess that explains why you have so much energy this time around.
Yeah, I feel really good right now, and it's probably because of that. But the point is, I shouldn't feel like I can do that stage 3 because I feel like I should feel intimidated by it, but I really don't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, no, I get your point there. You really should feel intimidated by a stage 3, but the way it's laid out and the way competitors make it easy, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, real quick to finish it off, the final 3 obstacles was same as last year, those being Pipe Dream, Eyeglass Alley, and the Flying Bar. Man, we hit a tangent on that. That's a good thing, but yes, we did. Going back to the ones, we first had to take on the station was sadly Flip Rodriguez.
Yeah, this was definitely surprising. I was honestly thinking Flip would be, even if he went out early, I think he would have been safe for later, but he was firstly shown, and yes, he was the first to take on stage 2 in production order, because he had the slowest time on stage 2, but it's still very unfortunate.
Yeah, Flip, he gave us a pretty good preview with the first couple of obstacles where he did really well, despite the injured hand, but he ended up going on the cliffhanger, being the only victim of it.
Yeah, again, the question goes really easy. I think it might have been his open hand. I think he could have been fine otherwise if he did not have that problem. And it really does seem like a trend with Flip. Because like, last time he was here, he had his leg injured on stage 1. And that really hurt his performance on stage 2 that year, even if he made it further than he had ever had. Like if stage 2 wasn't watered down that much, he probably would have went out on like the 5th obstacle again or something like that if it wasn't just so easy.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that one. But going back to Flip's one, yeah, he failed on the cliffhanger here, very disappointing, but still really awesome to see Flip finally break the stage 2 course earlier, and still really cool to see him finally on stage 3. It really makes me want to see him go farther, but honestly, this is his breakout year for me, and if he goes any farther, I'd love to see it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it feels like Flip won't go any further than this. It feels like, even if he does keep on trying, but trust me, he will. He's Flip Rodriguez. But it feels like this would be his only stage 3 hurrah, and he would keep on going back to the stage 2 course, like David Campbell or something like that, as he kept on failing stage 1 even after he broke the streak in season 9. But I really do hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, now, someone like Flip, he deserves to, now that he's broken the curse, he definitely deserves to, keep on going back there and keep on competing as well. Just as long as he doesn't have like season 13, we're golden.
Yeah. But moving on, after that we had Jay Lachey Lewis definitely being one of the more hype ones of stage 3.
Oh, fuck yeah. Jay! Oh, man, Jay, that was fucking awesome to see Jay on stage 3. It was a really cool one. He made the course kind of look like Child's Play until, like, Eyeglass Alley. That's when he started struggling. But he started really well.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out with Eyeglass Alley is that it seems like a lot of the ninjas saw it last year and built, like, some sort of replica. Because, like, a lot of them were, like, grabbing the top of the ball and knew how to control it a lot better than last season. And honestly, I'm glad they prepared for it. You know, Eyeglass Alley, it only took out one person, but it still felt hard. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. It still feels hard. A lot of ninjas struggled on it last season. A lot of ninjas struggled on it here. Despite the fact there being one fail on it only. But no, Jay, he's freaking destroyed the course on the flying bar. He flew across it, and that final one, he landed. He was like, "Oh my god!" Like you can see him lip syncing it, and he hit the buzzer, being our first finisher of the night.
Yeah, Jay Lachey, talk about it here. He really deserves this to go far. One note I want to add because I've met Jay before. He goes to the Hand Ninja Gym regularly before he went off to college. Just like a couple weeks back actually. The point is that Jay, he. I'm surprised I didn't notice. That I didn't notice. He honestly was able to do a good job keeping it behind wraps.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't spoil you in some vein.
He didn't. He really didn't. I'm glad he didn't, obviously. It was still really hype one, and you could feel it with him. So, I'm glad he didn't, but just the point that he made it through, and he didn't spoil it for anyone who it got to talk to him before the episode aired. Oh, good on him.
Yeah, anyway, back to stage 3. We have Ethan Barnicki, who is the only fast-forwarded ninja, which is a little disappointing, but okay, fine.
Yeah, I feel like someone like him, he's a nobody this season. He's he's gotten some showtime. I can't always say he's a nobody, but even so, it feels that way. And I really never liked any of his segments he was given either. But it's kind of unfortunate that he was the only ninja to be fast forwarded.
Yeah, he ended up going on a pipe dream, and after that we had Matt Domingo, who had a little bit of a surprising one.
Yeah, Matt Domingo, he made it further near the Wookiee this season. He made it all the way to the flying bar. And one thing I want to point out, because the show pointed this out too, this is the first flying bar fail since Ian Dory's in season 7. I'm just like, has it really been that long?
Yeah, the flying bar, it's always in a position to where it doesn't really get reached all that often, but that was until this season.
Yeah, I'm really glad they didn't say Adam Wales fail. I'm really glad because by AEW rules, he failed the flying bar, even though, it's iOS Alley. That it was Ken Lane that technically took him out.
Yeah, I feel like if they did that, then it would feel weird, so I can definitely get why they went that far back. But again, it was really surprising that it had been that long. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, so it honestly felt really weird.
Yeah, fully agreed. But moving on. After that, we had Max Feinberg, who had a really, probably the worst segment of the night, that being where him and Kaden Lapsek's mom talked about the bond over both having breast cancer around the same time, and how Kaden and Max bonded over that. And, good story and everything. I can't say it was edited badly. It wasn't, emotionally drawn down our throats like you may expect. Max made it through the least amount of the course out of everyone here. He ended up going out on the third obstacle, Chop It Up, being the only one to do so. But honestly, again, Chop It Up, it's one of those obstacles where I feel like it could drag up a knockout field. If someone isn't prepared for it. And honestly, just bringing flashbacks like the pipe fiddle, from the pipe fiddle from season 9 and that parallel pipes thing we saw back on Ninja vs. Ninja going that far back.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That actually makes a lot of sense. But yes, yes. Moving on, after that we had fucking Josh Levin, everyone.
Yeah, I believe I'm gonna say Josh Levin is the second most hyped one on Stage 3, the first being Jay the Shays, just cause that was fucking hype. But Josh's, same here, he made Stage 3 look really easy, straight up, he showed off on the cliffhanger, he hanged one hand and stuff, that is mostly what we were talking about when we were on this tangent about Stage 3 feeling nerfed. The fact that, even if Josh is a wall climber, the fact that he can do that without a care in the world, that's the main problem.
Yeah, that's kind of why it feels that way. But either way, Josh had a really good one, making it all the way to the buzzer.
Yeah, Josh had the slowest time out of anyone who attempted Stage 3, him finishing it in 7 minutes, but still, really good one, no matter what time you finish Stage 3, as long as you get through it, it's still incredible, even if you get really wrong, it's still very incredible to see, whatever, because not every ninja can do that, but I feel like at this point, it doesn't feel like a high feat, it doesn't feel like a high feat anymore, because again, it's so easy, Joe can do a course like this, it doesn't feel like that roadblock course, and honestly, yeah, Josh, he just crushed it.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out with Levin's one, and this is more specifically with the editors, they seriously showed Josh Levin getting his Stage 3 buzzer before they showed his one.
Oh yeah, I forgot it, okay, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, they showed Josh's buzzer on stage 3 before they showed his one. Are these editors fucking stupid or something? Like, why the fuck? First off, I think we've had to mention this one too. They spoiled stage 4 shit as well, because they said a record number of ninjas finished it. But they didn't say something like, will they? They literally just said a record number of ninjas finished on night 2. And I'm just like, I don't want to know that. No one wants to know that before they see it.
Yeah, no, it takes some of the hype away from, seeing this course being win. And some stuff was hype already, but the point is, it just ruins it when we already know the results.
Yeah, Josh Levitt. Going back to Josh Levitt's one. They fucking show his buzzer before he gets it. Like, that is so fucking stupid. They literally just spoil the one for you. And unless you're stupid and think that's his stage 2 buzzer, which I guess some people might have thought, but the editors specifically went for his clip on the cliffhanger and his clip getting the buzzer on stage 3. Specifically went and grabbed those camera cuts, popped it into the editing software, and edited that little mishmash together. They particularly did that just so people can say fuck you.
Yeah. You pointed out this in your Q&A, and I have to bring it up. You said that, if there was one thing you want to fix about Ninja, it's the fucking editing. I fully agree, and this is probably the main, breaking point, the last straw I think about.
Yeah, I don't think it's, it doesn't feel that infuriating, because it's a second, but I fully understand what you mean, and honestly, I'm a little pissed too. It may not feel that way, but I do feel really pissed about that stuff. And it's still in my mind by now, but so it's fucking bullshit you would do that. Yeah, that's not the way you do stage 3. Like, they don't edit this really well. We already talked about how, we don't think the episodes after stage 1, part 1 are really all that good. But on the editing side of things, I really think more of stage 1 should have been featured. Stage 2 should have been more spaced out. Here, again, we keep on repeating ourselves here if we keep on going with this, but don't show a fucking buzzer before you show the one. They could have easily just shown Levin's one from stage 2. No one would have cared. I would just dismiss it. But the fact that they just decided to show Josh Levin's buzzer right for the game, that spoils everything. And the fact is, I already got spoiled that Levin made it to Eyeglass Alley because they showed that on Enjoy's YouTube channel. For some stupid reason, I was putting my recommended, even though I don't watch their channel anymore. But the point is, they spoiled it because why the fuck not?
Yeah, there really is no reason for them to have done that, but we really went on a tangent on that one.
Yeah, we've hit 48 minutes. We've never waited this long.
To be fair, we had an episode going on for this long, but that was the podcast reaction. This is the first, cover stuff that's gone over 40 minutes.
Yeah, a little weird, but we're gonna keep on going. Obviously, we still have to finish. So, yeah. Anyway, after Levin's one, we had Cam Baumgartner, and I have opinions about this mostly because Cam, this is his first one that wasn't fast forwarded, and honestly, it was mid one too.
Yeah, Cam really should have more screen time this season. How amazing of a season he had. He should have gotten way the fuck more showtime than he did. And at least one forward shown one or something like that. But he didn't get that.
Yeah, no, Cam's been getting the very short end of the stick. He reminds me a lot of Nicholas Coolidge in that aspect because he made it to stage 2, I believe, every year he competed, but he kept on getting fast forwarded by the show and was barely ever shown. I believe he was shown a grand total of twice in his career of 4 seasons. So that's that. But it really just brings back those thoughts. Cam himself, he did pretty well on stage 3. He made it all the way to Pipe Dream, where he couldn't make the reach over to the other pipe and to one of the pipes initially. So he tried to make a jump, and the drop fucked him up. So was not able to clear out, but still, really good one for Cam and really good season as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. After that we had R.J. Roman, who had a segment about him in his teenage phase and how he grew up in essentially the hood, and how he had to deal with that and stuff. On the course, he did really fucking well.
Yeah, on stage 3, he did really well. He made all the way to the buzzer, but only just barely. As on the flying bar, he was really holding it together. On that last shot, he decided to fuck it. He just said fuck it and skipped the last Lachey ball. Like, I want to disqualify him for that, but I know the show wouldn't do that. It feels really brutal to do that.
Yeah, it's one of those iffy things. I feel like it'd be very, very controversial if they didn't give it to him, but at the same time, it just feels wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It definitely is something that I feel like should have happened. Probably would have happened a lot earlier, where you just skip a part of the obstacle, but it's okay. I think something similar happened with like Flip a couple years back on the Wave Runner, where he didn't touch the second wing, but yet you got disqualified if he didn't. So yeah, but the point is, it feels like he should have been disqualified, but he didn't, and RJ still moved on to stage 4. H4. And don't get down, RJ. He still deserved it, but honestly, it still feels like he should have. It still feels like he should have been better. It honestly just feels kind of weird to have him quit like that. Nothing against him.
Yeah. After that, we had Josiah Papel, who I don't think had a segment, but still had a really good one all throughout the course. Hit the buzzer, and obviously, I don't think I really have anything else to say. Just really good one.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when like we come to the station, we have nothing to say about these ninjas, but that kind of is how it is, even if they hit a buzzer. But after that, we had Nate Hansen, probably the most gutsy one of all.
Yeah, Nate Hansen, he made it all the way to Pipe Dream, where he ended up spending I feel like a minute or so trying to reach his legs to the Pipe Dream, and after the third try, he just gave up and jumped to it, and he still made it and moved on to the next obstacle.
Yeah, at that point, he should have just jumped at the start. Like, don't even try. Again, he's a very short ninja, so it makes sense, but the fact that he was so relentless and determined to try it that way, he made it all the way through Eyeglass Alley until the very end where the thing screwed him over by just popping off the hooks with a simple movement. And yeah, that was definitely not fair.
No, he should have been able to hang on. He definitely probably would have been fine. But the thing decided to screw him over, and he was the only person to be taken out by the obstacle, but still, really difficult one.
Yeah, no, definitely nothing against. Definitely again, and it's a little unfortunate to see him fail. Especially since he is such a gutsy one, it would have been such a cool triumph if he was able to finish. But yeah. After that, we had Caden Lepsek, who. Do I have to say anything? Anything?
Really, you don't, because he just hit the buzzer in the fastest time of the night. It doesn't feel like a victory anymore. That's it. That's the problem with Stage 3. I just realized it now. It doesn't feel like a victory. It really doesn't.
It took you just now to realize that.
No, probably not. It just took me to. No, probably not. It just took me this long to point it out. But yeah, just it doesn't feel like an accomplishment in this case.
Yeah, as we went further and further in the episode, it really felt like less and less of a victory. Caden is technically speaking the first person in AEW to do it twice, especially in a row, but still, it doesn't feel like too much of a victory, but still really close to staying with the course, and of course we had Stage 4, which it's always going to be the same. I really wish they change it, but especially with this year, it feels like they think it's hard enough for the ninjas at this point that they don't need to change it. They don't think it's really necessary. Not many ninjas get to that point, so when they do, they just try their best and most of the time, and they aren't able to do it. And here that definitely proves that.
Yeah, first up was Josh Levin. And then on Stage 4, and he did pretty okay, making it all the way to the 60-foot mark before timing out. But of course, because of the last ninja standing rule about hitting 100 grand otherwise, he was able to climb up to the top and get a time. I think it was pretty clear that that Josh really didn't want to win after that because he climbed all the way to the top, and it felt like he purposely waited as he finished in 54 seconds. But if he was actually trying to win the money, he probably could finish in something like 45 or something around there.
Yeah, it does feel like that Josh really didn't feel like it would be a victory so if he won. So he still had the buzzard and the small chance that he might have won, but he probably just wanted to see everyone else win. Especially when he was on that interview with Zoe, it really felt that way too. So, oh yeah, it was honestly very disappointing to see that. I honestly thought Josh had the biggest chance. Him and Kaden thought they had the best chance of winning. But yeah, probably should have saw it coming. But it really does suck. But after that we had RJ Roman who had who did really well up to about the 50-foot mark, where he ended up slowing down and timed out at about 70 feet. He ended up getting up at about 44 points in 44 seconds.
Yeah, after him we had Josiah Papel, who had a again a really good one. He did it faster than RJ, and I think in about the 50-foot mark. That's where he started to tire out. And I don't know if he did any better than RJ on the time mode as a whole, but we do know he made it up there faster. So faster by like 8 seconds. We finished in just under 38 seconds. And after that we had Jay Lewis.
Yep, Jay Lewis. Honestly, this was probably the biggest, one of the most hype one of Stage 4. Like, as a whole, it felt like had the most build up, and it felt like Jay deserved to be there. Him and Josh, really. But Jay, he's trained for this. He mentions having an infinity rope in the gyms he trains in. He mentioned having an infinity rope in the gyms he trains in. And honestly, props to him on that one. Just training for it. And he made it all the way to the 70-foot mark when he chimed out. And he was able to get the new fastest time at 37.19, just barely beating out Papel. And that was a standard for Lebsek. Well, Lebsek had to climb. Lebsek made it really close. Like, I think he made it higher than anyone else in terms of the 30-second time movement. But really close.
Yeah, Kate ended up getting the fastest time of the night at 36.7 seconds. So it's a little bit of a disappointment that no one won the million, but still incredible ones from all 5 of them. And obviously, Stage 4 as a whole, it didn't well. It's kind of weird. It didn't really feel climatic, but honestly, it felt like the end we needed.
Yeah, it feels like more like the typical Sasuke end, where we usually have a couple people make it to Stage 4 and that's it. For those best tournaments, because Sasuke has such a history to whale. We often do get people finishing Stage 3, but it's usually only 1 or 2 people, and those 1 or 2 people just can't do Stage 4, ignoring the fact that Sasuke Stage 4 is way harder than it is here in America.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like it's the Sasuke Stage 4. It's harder than the AEW one, but in contrast, I feel like a lot of the ninjas who train nowadays are more suited for Sasuke Stage 4 than AEW's, because again, all of them failed the rope climb. They tried their very best and all of them had good techniques, especially Kaden. But on Sasuke, you have a salmon ladder, you have a spider climb, a salmon. You have a spider climb, a salmon ladder, and finally, I think like 20 to 25 feet rope climb. And yeah, I feel like a lot of these ninjas are way more prepared for that kind of Stage 4 because it combines a whole bunch of different attributes compared to this version of Stage 4 where it's just one obstacle.
Yeah, I think you made a very good point there, because it feels very formulaic here, and I think that's the main reason why it doesn't feel climactic anymore. But the point is that Kaden won, and he finished the course, and he won the $100,000, and that's it for season 14.
Yep. Really weird position. We have hit 1 hour of one time here, and I don't know if the video's gonna be that long, depends on how much I have to cut out. But goddamn, that was fucking hype, that episode.
Yeah, I felt really good going into it, and I still feel really pumped right now, so really awesome. Something that I still feel that way, and everyone else here feels that way, obviously. But today we covered stages 2, 3, and 4, and wow, what an episode! Yeah, I don't think we've had a more hyped or good episode than this. Yeah, real quick, I know this is running on really long, but I want to get this out before we leave, before we go. If you guys know, I don't know if everyone knows this, but next week, the family special that was filmed, that was announced back when season 13 concluded, that is finally airing. So I don't know for sure if that was filmed this year or last year, but the plan is we're gonna be covering it in the future, once it airs. But after that, we are definitely taking a break. AEW, we're in the off season now, so we are probably not gonna be doing a podcast for a little while, probably like a good month, give it that time. But then, we will be covering the Stage 5 Ninja Awards, which is really exciting. Last year, we wanted to do it really badly, but we just didn't have the time, and by the time, didn't have the time and the schedule and stuff, so we just decided not to. It's a mutual decision. But this year, we're doing it, baby. I don't want another year where we don't do it. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I fully understand what you mean. This season has been pretty alright, all things considered. I know it's a weird opinion, but I can't say it's incredible. I can't say it's really good. I have to say it's really okay because it's just the editing, some of the courses, the episodes before the Vegas finals. I was like, it has a lot of down points. Really, we just like that 7 out of 10, that's 6.5 for me. So, really, that's where it is for me, really personally. But obviously, go on, David. What do you want to talk about here?
Yeah, thanks. But I just mentioned, obviously, Save by Ninja Wars. That's the plan. But, sometime during that time frame, and definitely afterwards, I have a planned series where I want to talk about the history of each stage of the national finals. It's been 10 years since it was seen back in season 4. In order to start with the anniversary, I want to talk about the history of each individual stage and the state is in right now. And talk about how I could possibly fix it. Again, similar to what we did with the city finals tower about almost a month ago, about a couple weeks back. You guys had a really good response on those solid discussion videos, so it's gonna be one of those. But I'll be talking about stage 1 in its own video, stage 2 in its own video, stage 3 in its own video, and stage 4 in its own, maybe a little bit shorter video. But they all deserve their own single videos, and I really want to bring those to you guys. So if any of you guys are still watching, that's to come as well. And obviously, if there's a 4th season of AEW Junior, which I'm almost positive there is, because season 3 of Falls I know did really well, so I don't know why they would cancel it. But the point is, if season 4 of AEW Junior comes around, the way we'd probably cover it is we'd probably do like 3 or 4 episodes on it, just talking about the qualifying, the semifinals, and the finals round. Doing all of it in one, and not doing a fucking going episode by episode. Because last year, that was the most enduring thing we ever did.
Yeah, sometimes some of us didn't really feel like recording on those days, but we decided to pump them out fast as we could. The point was, by the end of it, it was like 1 episode per month, and we barely finished it before the season started. And we don't want another situation like that. Like, God darn.
Yeah, no. So when season 4 of the AEW does end up happening, if it does, it will air with qualifying episodes. When that's done, we will head over and talk about those. Then we will go round by round until we finish the season. And, yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, it might be a little bit early, but it'd help us give us breaks. It will make AEW Junior feel less stressful to cover, as it probably only took us 15 minutes to cover each episode, like, in one time. So, it didn't really feel worth it either in that time, too. Because unlike this season, to where every episode was, like, around the 40-minute mark, and this one had an hour, all the stuff on AEW Junior, AEW Junior, like, that stuff, those are our shortest episodes, and I think only one of them hit 20 minutes. One of them hit 20 minutes, and in that episode we covered 2 episodes.
Yeah, I believe 2 of them did, but But the finale, we covered both episodes, and we've like the final episode of the qualifiers. We talked about 2021 a little bit, and reflection on that because it was the end of the year and stuff. I thought that would make sense to pop that in now. But yeah, I would definitely want to make, if we're gonna cover to be Junior, I'd want it to be less stressful, and I think that would help things. But we've been rambling for a while. I think we can end this finally.
Yeah. So if you got